Hello there. Today I want to talk about my life here in Iwate. For those who didn't know, Iwate is a prefecture in Japan. It's where I lived for the past 5 years. I had my happiest memories here, but also the saddest days of my life. I feel like I really changed here. This is the place where I truly became an adult. Let's start at the beginning. When I first moved here, I was a bit idealistic. I thought, well, this is it. I can finally be in Japan. I heard really good things about it. What could possibly go wrong? It's the place that I used to only see in YouTube videos and movies. It seemed very mysterious to me, and I was really curious. But, well, it's not always like that. It's not always fascinating or amazing or breathtaking. Don't get me wrong. Japan truly is beautiful, but my life here wasn't just about looking at pretty views or going to amazing places. Most of my time here was spent working and basically doing everyday stuff like going to the supermarket, cleaning my apartment, and watching a bunch of YouTube videos at home. Life is still life, no matter where you live. And before I knew it, I sort of just got used to living here. After a few years of being here, I lost somebody very important to me back home. It changed my perception of myself and the things around me. I really felt like a part of myself disappeared and I could never regain it again, if that makes sense. It was hard to describe the feeling. Rather than it being this big, dramatic, sad thing, it was this dull pain, almost like an annoyance. Sometimes I even forget it's there. And then I remember something and it triggers this rush of emotions, and suddenly it's like it just happened. Grief works that way, I guess. Like the pain never really goes away. You forget about it sometimes, but it's still there. At first, I didn't really know how to handle it. I felt like I lost something really, really big, and I didn't really belong anywhere anymore. And for months, really, I had nothing to look forward to. Sometimes I felt like I was a robot, just functioning, not really living. I hated everything. All the narrow streets, the gray old buildings, and cold winds in winter. It's really cold. I've never been that cold in my entire life. Of course, as I said, I was still functioning, so I was working, eating, doing my routines, but deep inside of me, I felt like nothing really mattered. Like nothing was really worth doing because what's the point? So why am I living? Is it just to work and pay bills? Eventually, it did get better. You know, I don't really claim that I have healed, but I did realize that I didn't really hate everything. It was just all that pent up emotion because I didn't know how to express it. It's like this really weird thing. Losing someone that important to me was probably the worst thing that's ever happened in my life, and I didn't know how to handle it. But something helped me, and that is having friends, having people who I can share this with, because I can't just lock this thing inside my head. It would just torture me, and I felt like I should share it with people because by sharing it, I can slowly accept the loss. I know that I can never truly move on from it, but pain isn't always a bad thing. I think it reminds us that happiness should be treasured. By learning the pain of grief, we learn how to value the happiness we experienced. And even if that already passed, the feeling remains with us. It's still a memory inside us, and that memory lives on. Eventually, I began to rewrite my memories of Iwate, and I saw it for what it really was. It's cold in the winter, but in the summer, that cool breeze would comfort me when I'm feeling really hot. And the roads, sometimes they're confusing, especially at first, but when you look closely, you can see that it's filled with nice local shops. And the people here are just so nice and caring. This is a beautiful place. I'm glad I had the privilege of living here. And now the time has come for me to move on to the next stage of my life. I can say that this place really helped me grow, and I definitely would not be who I am today without the experiences I had here. So, from the bottom of my heart, I would really like to thank this place because for a few years it has welcomed me through the good times and the bad, and it has become my home. I will never forget it.